industry through the community, right into your home. It's the Green Room, and we're on. What's going on, everybody? It's Lester from Cannabis Wiki. We are here with our award-winning cannabis social influencer, also best-selling author with over 2 million Facebook followers and over 130,000 Instagram followers, our North American cannabis flower, your Big Drip, Jackie Childs.
Your Big Drip. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for coming and tuning in to the Green Room. Hey.
What's going on, people?
Yeah, lots going on, actually. That's why I was like a little... There's a lot going on. Coronavirus is obviously on everyone's mind and topic. And the constant cancellations of everything right now.
The world is closed.
The borders are being closed. The stores are being closed. The events are being closed. And so that's why we got our next guest here to fill us in a little bit more.
Special guest.
What's happening. And for Sacha, this has happened just a few hours ago. So welcome to the Green Room, Sacha.
With no more
from
further
HempFest.
ado. Yeah,
he's HempFest and C45 and Growing Summit. And welcome.
What's going on, sir?
Thanks. Good to see you, Jackie.
I wish it was to talk about more exciting things. So you tell us what's going on. What happened today?
Today we've finally decided that we're going to cancel the Growing Summit coming up in Kelowna here. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been trying to make a lot of changes to make the event safer and offer live streaming and a whole bunch of other options rather than being there. And just the news of the last 20 hours, how this is progressing, we finally decided that we had to cancel as well, even though that event is under the 250 maximum that the government has set out. We felt we're still flying people from across Canada, and we decided to cancel anyway, even though we were still legally allowed to go, essentially.
Right.
So is it canceled or postponed, or what's the deal?
Postponed, sorry.
Do we have a date?
So,
do you have a rough new date?
We'll see what's happening with the situation and go from there.
Okay.
So
then what about everything else? Like all the other festivals and events that are in the next few months, what's happening?
So next one that we have coming up is C45 in Fredericton. We're going to be discussing that with the C45 Association board on Monday, and we'll have a decision then about what we're going to do with that event.
Wow.
What date is that scheduled for?
That one is for May 12th to 14th.
Okay, so it's kind of close on the threshold there.
Well, yeah, close-ish.
Yeah, they've canceled everything going on in April already. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
420 to be canceled. 420. I mean, how did we cancel 420? Right. That's a big deal.
So how do you handle something like this that you've never been trained, prepared to come on your table?
Well, it's actually, being an event organizer for 7 years now, canceling an event sometimes is part of your business, as unfortunate as that sounds sometimes. So this isn't the first one I've canceled, but we try to do it as little as possible because you're putting so much work into one day. And then when you do cancel, you really almost need that to come top down from the government or the venue. Otherwise, if you're canceling, then you're the one liable for all the money you've put out, all the work you've put in. So at least when you get something that comes from the government first, top down, then the venue is willing to work with you and, get that deposit back to you in a way, give you a credit for it in the future.
Right.
So at least you're not out on those non-refundable deposits, which is usually the case. But with this one, I think for a lot of event organizers across the country, once we got that top-down approach, we were able to then make the right decision for the situation that's going on right now.
Like they canceled Cannabis the day before it was supposed to start, and everyone was already in Spain. And now when they come home, they have to self-quarantine for 14 days. So whenever those people are getting out of Spain, they're going to have to self-quarantine for 14 days. Did you guys talk all about like all this that was going on? people from all over the world what was happening?
Definitely, yeah, we did. That was in one of our Growing Summit talks just a few days ago. And again, I think with Spanibus, they waited till they had that top-down approach.
Right.
Okay.
Because essentially, as an event organizer, you might work weeks or months or even years to pull off 2 days of business or 1 day of business.
Right.
And you're waiting for all that to happen, and then if it doesn't happen, you're like, okay, well, as an entrepreneur, I've taken that risk, and then you think about that beforehand, but when you actually go through it, it's a little harder.
Do people get their money back for the tickets, like for the Growing Summit, or is it just you will honor them at the next event, or what are you guys doing from there?
We're going to honor them at the next event, but if you do want an instant refund, we're offering 65% of your full purchase back right away. So
okay,
again, we're taking that from things like airlines and all those kind of things that do take a fee to make sure that their company's going to be all right. Because for the Growing Summit case, I have 150 portions of steak tenderloin already there. Booze. So like the money's already there, and we're going to try to recoup that and make that work so we can offer refunds. But again, we're trying to just postpone and keep everybody's money in trust until we can get that new date going, and then we'll reopen the event.
What gave you the okay, we might have to pull the chute on this? Which one was it, or what happened?
Really, it was
Donald Trump.
When I was reading that news article, or not news article, on YouTube, the BC government talking about the 250 max people at an event, and then also the people returning from abroad would have to self-quarantine for 14 days. That's when we kind of realized, like, this is progressing very quickly in Canada now.
Right.
We've been watching it and saying, okay, Canada, we feel like Canada is still safe, so we're moving forward with the event. Now, with the news in the last 20 hours, we're kind of realizing that it is moving very quickly now in Canada, and
wow,
trying to slow that down, stop it, and this is part of the effort to do that, right?
Right. And are you with a new baby at home? Aren't you nervous as well? What you guys could be exposed to or come in contact with?
I'm not. No.
No, you're not nervous about it at all?
No, not really. I live in a tourist town that has 4 million people through it annually. So I live in a pretty transient place, but
you're not worried.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
All right. So now I have to ask, what's your perspective on this then?
My perspective.
Just mass hysteria.
You're sitting cool in the pocket like you've got some pot away.
We were kind of one of the last events out there that hadn't canceled. Mm-hmm. So my thoughts on it were, yes, mass hysteria, social media warfare. It's all
right
coming together, and the public is really freaking out.
Right.
So that's why we were still going through with the event, because we were still having, tickets were selling. People were telling us, hey, we're happy to be there. We're excited to be there. So, we were getting messages from our clients that, yeah, this is going to be a great event. And then you're watching on social media that, the world's ending, essentially
coming to a close.
Yeah, the world is closing down.
You're almost forced to kind of follow suit, even though it seems to be what everybody's saying is the right thing to do, Yeah, we're all in a position where I've never been in this kind of position before. I've never seen anything like this happen, not in my lifetime. SARS was bad. So I guess these precautions are a good thing. I'm kind of like you. I stand at that standpoint of the way everybody's freaking out. We live in Canada. Anyways, for everybody that's listening, I live in Canada. It's cold 6 months out of the year. Every year, every winter, we hear that it's flu season. They emphasize on everybody getting the flu shots, and sometimes there's a bad strain. And people that are in those fine margins, the youth who aren't developed yet health-wise, and then the elderly who are compromised health-wise, those ones are always at the highest risk, no more than something like now, right?
It's scary. I don't know whether I'm scared just because of all the social media stuff, or when it's starting to get really close to home now. That's all I was. So I just kept waiting to hear who's canceling which day, and when I'm like, no, they're still going. It's Grown Summit's still good. And then this morning on my drive into work, I'm like, this is going to be an interesting conversation with Sacha today.
Yeah, well, we're
Yeah.
So because, you have these events, and these events take place, but entrepreneurs and people put them on. It's business. And then this is there's a huge loss. The SXSW, Southwest, whatever it is, that conference was the first to pull the chute. And they've since laid off 35% of their team and their whatever, because and now they're saying they might not even have another one, that they might not be able to recover.
done, non-existent.
So what is that? Is it this serious? Like, it's really this is a big day this is a heavy day for you? Or are you gonna?
Yeah, it is a pretty heavy day, because you have, you're arranging hundreds, sometimes thousands of people to all focus on that one day, and then you really want to pull it off. That's what you're working for months, right? And then now you have to pull the chute on all that, and almost retract everything you've already said.
Yeah.
Because now you're canceled or postponed, and so it is a tough day. But
what happens with the hotel, the Zed?
Sorry?
What happens if people that book the Zed or whatever it was called, that cool hotel?
I don't know. I actually have not heard back from them yet, but I assume I will pretty soon. So,
but like you said, everyone following suit from the top up down. I mean, it's a trickle of this is how it'll right. It's the right way to do things. It's how it's supposed to happen. So I'm sure people will be taken care of or refunded, or when you decide the next event, they'll honor their rooms then or something, right? I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So when is HempFest scheduled? September?
We're in Calgary, September 11th, 12th. Okay. And again, we'll be watching and seeing what happens over the next few weeks here and months. And
wow.
Hopefully we won't be in this situation then.
Right. And you said C45 is in May. And what was the date?
Yeah, mid-May.
So there's still a while, right?
It's close. It seems to be like everybody's trying to pull a little 30 to 45 day wait on here to see what transpires in these next few days. So if things do work out into the plus, where we find out that the world is opening back up, what happens for you now? What is the next thing to be in play?
The next thing is to reschedule all the events and almost relaunch them in a way. But the hope is that we're going to be able to also, retain a lot of the work we've already done, and we'll have the same speakers and same companies represented there and all those kind of things. So hopefully we can postpone and see that come together when things start turning around.
So it should be much easier. Hopefully it will be much easier to regroup and get at it again, because the Growing Summit family's already right. You've already got it there. You just have to change the date.
For sure.
Hopefully.
Yeah. And I think that's the right choice with what we've seen in the last 20 hours here.
So, and then
we have to all kind of do our part to make sure that we're keeping everybody safe.
Right. Look at it. It's just crazy. It wasn't the conversation I thought we were going to have.
Yeah.
I was watching the National or Dateline, one of those things, and they said at the beginning of our news, whatever, the program, the information we have at the middle and the information we have at the end will be changing. So today, at the beginning, we're talking about the X, Y, and Z. By the end of it, who knows? And that's exactly what happened. They cut away and they broke to borders being all the schools in Ontario have closed, and Yeah. So do you have all the schools closed?
Crazy.
Yeah.
BC and Alberta, not yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of ours are closed because
Well,
March breaks.
Ontario has a lot of cases.
Yeah, we have a lot of cases.
We have a lot of cases here. So
Yee.
they have March break coming up.
I gotta stop licking Lester. Just kidding.
Help, Sasha.
Listen
help.
to me. He's like, help. Whatever. Like, so what happens? Do you guys what is work then right now? Is work rescheduling?
Yeah. What happens to you now?
Or do you take a break?
We're actually launching a few new products. We're launching one product and one website. So we'll shift gears to doing that for now. And both of those are projects that are in the works. And we'll just have more time to spend on those. And
all right, so
I'll get out in my camper van and lay low.
I'll tell you, he's a hardcore hippie. He's just gonna smoke some weed and lay low.
That's good. So give us a little insight. What's the product that's coming out?
Are you allowed to tell it? What are you doing?
We've actually partnered with the team from Keystone on the key box. So
we just had the key box here, but we were too high to figure it out. So I wrote them a handwritten note. I stuck my nug in it and sent it back.
Yeah.
Well, that's huge. That's huge.
That's awesome. That's cool.
So we'll be focusing on that, and then we have a marketplace website that we're launching as well called cannyshops.com.
Kenny?
Candy.
Candy?
Canny?
How
Canny shops.
Canny shops. I'm like, who's Kenny?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
I love it.
That'll be a cannabis apparel marketplace that we're working on.
Hey, wait, are you already on Instagram?
Sorry?
Do they already have an Instagram?
Candy.
I don't know. I don't know.
It like hoodies?
I'm not the guy that sets
Is
those
it like
up in the
hoodies that
company.
say Kush and stuff like that? Hoodies and is there the strain thing? Is there hoodies?
This is the big drip. She's
Okay,
always
never mind.
She's always on
Somebody
the new stuff.
some new company just as I was pulling in to here today.
Hit you up?
Yeah, and I was like, "What's all this?" And it's on apparel and all kinds of stuff. It was cool.
So what do you want to leave?
Yeah.
What do you want to leave with us, Sasha? What's going on? What do you want to say?
He's sorry that we had to cancel it, but it was a safety for everybody.
I think
No, because for the position that you are, for an event holder, there's a lot of people that are obviously, like everybody's a little disappointed, but to get to hear from the promoter is always a good thing.
Yeah, I think
It
what
sucks.
I want to leave everybody with is a lot of these events are going to reschedule. We're all still going to, stay in the event game. I'm sure there's all the 420 events are going to celebrate at some point and those kind of things once it passes. And I hope everybody just, is kind to everybody while we go through this together.
Yeah.
Well-
I
well
love
said.
Sasha
Well said.
and Celine. What's
Well
the
said.
little what's the little nugget's name?
Nora Dillon.
Nora Dillon?
Yeah.
Cute.
Congratulations, my
Cute
friend.
on the little nugget.
Congratulations.
That's so cute. Now I can just see them all hippieing out in their van with this little baby and wearing their Birkenstocks. Thank you.
That is the plan.
Yeah, I love it. See, it sounds like a good plan. Coronavirus isn't getting you, and I can imagine how heavy today is for you. Thank you for coming on and discussing
Thank
this
you
with us.
totally for sharing.
As much as it sucks, it's. I mean, what else can you do? I guess it's better safe than sorry right now. So, thank you.
Exactly.
And and we'll be in touch and have some fun and better days.
Yeah,
Awesome.
once things get going on, I can't wait to hook up with you. And
Yeah, Sasha from Growing Summit, C45, HempFest. What else? Am I missing some?
Keybox.
Oh, right.
Keybox.
Keystone.
Shops.com.
Yeah. And Kenny, how do we say it? Canny?
Canny.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's exciting. Exciting stuff.
There we
So
go. There's the pronunciation.
Love it.
There's
We haven't
always
even figured it out yet, but you nailed it.
All right,
You're an
Sasha.
ass.
All right.
Thanks again, my friend. Thank you again.
Thanks, Sasha.
Bye.
Take care.
That was
Ah.
That was hard.
Pooper.
That was hard.
Sucks butt because he's the happiest, sweetest guy and like a real in the industry. When every guest we have come on talk about the phonies and the fakes and the snake oils and the whatever, that's not Sacha from HempFest. He is the cannabis community, and this bites ass. It's unfortunate.
Hard pill to swallow, but I dig it that like you said, they waited from the top to recognize that there's an issue. So hopefully everybody's going to get funded or credited, and the event will get put on later on.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, well, so that was Green Room. Talking to Sacha from C45 Growing Summit and HempFest rescheduled for another time,
like everything else. So
Lester, we're still hanging out.
We're still here. We're good.
Maybe next week we'll do some lives if we're all still alive.
I think we should do a little live.
Yeah.
Right. Guys, the Green Room.
Nah, not as fresh as we should have been today for that last one.
It's hard to be fresh on.
It was a little icky.
Well, it's been nothing but disappointing in the last 20 hours. As he said, everything's just coming to a close, whether you're watching sports or whether you're going to some sort of music outing or whether you're doing something through cannabis. Any kind of social gatherings are done.
For now, yeah.
Right?
You got to stay safe and healthy and...
Get that toilet paper.
And and subscribe to the Green Room while you're sitting on this shitter or you're hot boxing each other or what's Dutch ovening each other or whatever the hell you're doing. Subscribe. We're everywhere. Spotify, iTunes.
I love it, man.
YouTube.
Just get me my pot away diffuser and you can Dutch oven all you want.
That was a different episode. That was another day.
I know.
By now you already have it. Get it?
Yeah.
Got it. Anyways, check us out on cannabis.wiki.
Guys, where cannabis talk is always fresh and a little bit sticky. Keep it locked. Cannabis Wiki, the Green Room. And we out.
Take care. Be well, guys.
Peace.